Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike, and it is Friday, the 3rd of November. It's the end of the week. It's not the end of our week. We are back tomorrow, and Hollywood is back with me. We're going to do the stream from the studio, so you will be graced by our beautiful faces in the morning. We have a great show for you today. As always, we're going to cover the markets. The quiz is always here. The quiz is at the end in about 45 minutes time. What are we going to look at today? Well, first of all, we're going to take a look at Ripple. We're going to take a look at how they are going to set up a trial with the country of Georgia, not the state in America. We're going to look at Michael Saylor and his bullish outlook, which is, I think it does hold a lot of weight. We're going to look at Solana. Now, as you were all aware, we've had a retracement in the market. That is not a bad thing. I said yesterday there's a good chance we could come back a little bit, find a level of support and move on. So I'm going to have a look at that. We're going to cover XRP, Solana and Bitcoin today. In the news, massively bullish news from Valkyrie. They believe that the ETFs will be approved by the end of the month. And then at the end, we have two, I think you could say, chalk and cheese. You have Do Kwon, who personally I don't think is guilty of any major crime. And then we have SBF, who is looking at 110 years. So as you can see, we have a lot to fit into the show. Before I do, very important to make a note here. It's been very quiet on the streams this week in terms of feedback from you guys. So what I would love you to do is drop a comment into chat. Get used to talking to streamers on chats, because we are here, we are live. I'm not a recording, I'm not a pre-record. This isn't a stream from YouTube or anything like that. I'm actually here. So drop a comment, ask any questions, any price targets, anything like that. Even if you want to tell me that you're having a cup of coffee and listening to me in bed, I don't care. Just say hello. Good morning, Charlie. Nice of you to drop a comment. Charlie, Bitcoin 007, great name. Thank you for the flowers, F6, greatly appreciated. There's an awful lot of comments in here. It's very difficult to read them all out. So what I'll do is I'll start reading them as they come through. But first of all, we're going to have a look at the markets. Bitcoin is down 3% in the last 24 hours. The total market cap of crypto is also down 2%. We're at what, 1.28 trillion. It really isn't that low. I mean, compared to where we were 3 or 4 months ago, if you'd have offered me a $34,000 Bitcoin in June or July, I would have taken it. Volume is down 46 billion. I said yesterday, I think we're at 60 billion yesterday. 60 billion is a decent, healthy amount of volume. 46 billion is, for me, it's more profit taking. That's the way to look at where we are in the markets. Bitcoin dominance has fallen a touch, 52.6%. Ethereum dominance is just falling by the wayside. Now we're gonna probably see some very big winners and losers when we do this. Should I say we're going to see some big losers when we do this. Trust Wallet is up a tad. Kronos is up 2.8. There isn't really a lot there. The big news out of Kronos today is to do with their card staking. They are changing the way that card staking works. So if you are a holder of Crow and you do stake it, go and check the news out on Twitter or on wherever else, email, whatever it might be. For me, it's bullish news for Crow. So I might make a video about Crow. They're basically trying to reduce the sell pressure on their token. So I'm expecting Crow to get up towards 10, 15 cents, hopefully by March, April next year, once this is actually kicked in. At the other end, of course, we're going to see Solana. Solana has ripped 60% in a month. So a 10% retracement is healthy. Flow is in there. Render, Conflux, Graph is down. Injective, Gala. But again, you know, you're looking at a retracement on an 87% increase. A 41% increase. So don't panic. I said on the stream, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, when the market retraces slightly, it's not a signal that we're going to have a downturn in the market. Nothing goes down or up forever. Over a 5 or 10 year period, Bitcoin is going to win. Crypto is going to win. We're going to have noise. We're going to have interest rates. We're going to have inflation, possibly have a recession. All of those things affect the price. Don't worry if it's your first time to crypto and you do see that if you bought Solana yesterday at $42 and you're down 10% today, don't worry about it. It's not a long-term trend. It's a short-term profit take. People, don't forget, we're going to go through Solana later on. Solana is up from $25 a month ago. If you're 60% up in a month, you're going to take some profits. And that additional sell pressure will bring the price down. So don't worry about this slight retracement. It really isn't the end of the world. The first thing we're going to look at today, however, is Ripple and Georgia. Now, for me, this might not seem like massively bullish news for you, but I'm going to try and put this into context once I've read through the article, because this is absolutely massive news. Fran, I'm going to go through Solana. We're going to do 3 tokens today. We're going to do Ripple and XRP first. Then we're going to look at Bitcoin, and then we're going to look at Solana. So hold on to your hats. Don't go selling your Solana yet. It's not the end of the world. I'm going to go through and have a look. On the shorter time frames, I said yesterday and the day before, on the shorter time frames, we do have some bearish divergences, but on the longer time frames, we still have room to grow. So we're going to get onto that in a minute. First thing is we're going to get on to look at this. Let me update the menu. Always a few things to do. And always forget one thing. There's like 20 things to do, and I remember to do 19 of them every day. Today I forgot to do the menu. So the menu was being done literally 2 minutes before we went live. Right, Ripple and the National Bank of Georgia join forces for the digital Larry pilot. In a recent development, Ripple has been selected by the National Bank of Georgia as the official tech partner for its digital Larry pilot project. The collaboration aims to explore the potential benefits and use cases of the Ripple's central bank digital currency platform for public sector businesses and retail users. According to the announcement, the National Bank of Georgia chose Ripple after a rigorous selection process involving 9 shortlisted companies. Ripple stated that the company's deep understanding of the project's objectives and CBDC solution were instrumental in securing the partnership. Now, I'm not going to read too much about this because the minutiae is not important. What is important here is that you have first mover advantage in lots of businesses and industries, but you also need to have pilots. So smaller countries with, maybe Ireland, maybe Georgia, maybe Liechtenstein, maybe small countries with only a few million people. If you're going to test a CBDC project, you're going to test it in a smaller place. Now, Ripple, I've said for a very long time that Ripple is never going to hit $600 or $700. That's based on Ripple solely connecting the banking system together. Now, if Ripple starts to move into CBDCs and starts to be used as the blockchain for all, 20 million and less countries around the world, that adds another naught onto the end of the valuation for Ripple, and Ripple becomes probably the biggest centralized crypto project in the world. It becomes bigger than anything else. Don't forget, Bitcoin is decentralized. It's not a company. Ripple is a company. Brad Garlinghouse is a CEO. This is groundbreaking, not from the point of view of the CBDC, but groundbreaking from the point of view that Ripple will be involved, because this opens the floodgates. And in 12 months' time, or 2 years' time, in the height of the bull run, we could be looking at 20 or 30 countries around the world all looking to use the Ripple blockchain for their central bank digital currencies. Now, I'm not going to go into central bank digital currencies, but they can be a force of good or they can be a force of evil. I don't know if any of you watched the interview with Rishi Sunak and Elon Musk. He was talking, or they were talking at the first AI security conference in London on Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know which day it was. AI is the same. It can be used for good. It can be used for evil. Central bank digital currencies are going to be used for evil in very dictatorial and very communist-like states. So if you take a look back at the pandemic and what happened there and how the country treated its citizens, that's how they're going to treat them with central bank digital currencies, in my opinion. What that means is places like Sweden, Denmark, maybe even the UK are not going to have a great deal of surveillance over how the money flows or anything like that. I think if you go to more dictatorial countries, look at Australia, for example, they will use it. Another perfect example, of course, is Canada, where they froze all the bank accounts of people associated with the truckers. So I'm going off on a bit of a tangent, I know, but central bank digital currency in its purest form is a good thing. It's how it's used that's going to cause the problems moving forward. And Ripple, being the base of all of these central bank digital currencies, is massively, massively bullish news. I mean, if this is rolled out and it's a success, you can look at a $30, $40, $50 Ripple. It's that big a news. But this isn't today. This isn't December 2023 news. This is December 2025 news when it's actually being rolled out. So I wanted to open with this because I don't think many people are going to pay much attention to this because it's Georgia. You know, it's not a major, you know, it's not a G7 country, but it's not it. All of these countries, all of these big countries, China, India, Russia, UK, Singapore, Hong Kong, they're all going to watch this and see how it rolls out. Because if it works for Georgia, it will work for every other smaller country. And Ripple will be the go-to project for blockchain CBDCs in the world. And that is such an unbelievable position to be in for Ripple that I don't think it should be understated. Now we're going to have a quick look at the price of Ripple, because although we've had a retracement in the market, we did say at the start of the week that there were psychological barriers to be broken and held. And if you look at where we are with Ripple, when it decides to work in its own good time. So psychologically, I have said for a while that, why are we on the 5-minute chart? There we go. Give me a second. Okay. Now, 60 cents psychologically, look at where we are. We haven't been at 60 cents since May last year. We've had this line, we've had this fib level, and look how many times we've touched it. You can go back to September, March, April, May. We had the pump, of course, with the news about the SEC case. We fell back down. August, September again, October, and we finally broke it. And look where we touched. We touched the next fib level up. So, although we've had a slight retracement in the market, Ripple doesn't stop being bullish overnight just because we've had a 24-hour period where we've had a retracement. Even if this retracement lasts until Monday, we've done. I mean, look where we've come from. We've come from 48 cents on Friday the 13th. So we've had a 25% gain in that time. It's bullish. You know, we're following this lovely channel now that we've created for ourselves. So I'm super bullish now. I was bullish on XRP all along. I made a video about XRP on my YouTube channel before the decision was made. I said it would hit $1. We hit 94 cents. I'm still bullish that we're going to get back there, but there's going to be 80 cents is going to be a huge battle. 80 cents is going to be the area that we have to break. And I don't think we're anywhere near that yet. I think the next level we need to get to potentially is about this level here, which is about 70 cents. That's where I can see us moving to. But I think we all have PTSD on it with XRP. We have PTSD from the SEC case. We're not at a price that I think we should be at for XRP. I think it's like it's been beaten so much that we don't believe, XRP is one of the first legitimate crypto projects in America. It's beaten the SEC. So for me, I'm now super bullish on XRP. I do hold XRP. It's part of my 15k portfolio that I've got. I think it's up. I think I bought it in January. So I think I bought at about 34 cents at the start of the year. So I've not done too badly so far, but this is going to hit $5-10 in the next bull run now. And the more news that comes out, if there is another CBDC coming out and it mentions Ripple, Brazil are in talks with Ripple. Huge country for Ripple to get on board. So I think what's going to happen is this is going to rip at some point in the near future. Maybe the first quarter of next year, it's going to rip. And when it rips, we are never going to see 60 cents again. We're not going to see 60 cents in the next bear market. We're not going to retrace this low, in my opinion. If we do hit $10 and we do retrace, we're going to come down to $1 or $2 if we ever get down that far again. So massively positive on XRP. In the short term, I think we're going to be in this range. I think we're going to retest 62 cents, and then I think we're going to retest 70 cents at some point. But just because we've had the period of time we've had, I am not going to become bearish overnight. One swan does not make a summer. Whatever the opposite of that. One raindrop does not make a thunderstorm. There we go. We can have that one. Now let's move on to talk about Michael Saylor. Now, we do cover Michael Saylor a fair old bit on the channel. We spoke the other day about how MicroStrategy is a proxy Bitcoin ETF. The reason I say that is that Bitcoin makes up 99% or 97% of the value of MicroStrategy is held in Bitcoin. Good morning, Lima. Welcome to the stream. Good morning, Roman. Welcome to the stream. Don't forget to say hello, drop a message in chat with what you're doing, what coins you want us to look at, and that kind of thing. So Michael Saylor, unprecedented demand is set to 10x Bitcoin. That is his target. Now, he's a permabull. He's also Bitcoin maxi. So when you read an article about somebody or read an article about an interview that somebody has done, read it in the context of what that person wants to see. So he holds 150,000 Bitcoin. He's a Bitcoin maxi. His company is based on Bitcoin. He is not going to come out and say anything negative about Bitcoin. That's one thing to bear in mind. So whenever you read somebody like Elizabeth Warren will come out and say all kinds of things about crypto. Why does she say it? Because she's invested into stocks and shares and her main sponsors are banks. So that's why Elizabeth Warren talks the way she talks. This is why Michael Saylor talks the way he talks, because he is elbow deep in Bitcoin. Not Ethereum, not Solana or Cardano or XRP. He doesn't believe in any other cryptocurrency other than Bitcoin. He's doubled down on his enthusiasm for Bitcoin on Thursday, telling CNBC that he believes cryptocurrency is soon going to experience a price boost previously unheard of in modern financial history. His confidence in the coin stems from the confluence of a number of Bitcoin-related events that anticipate to occur over the next year. We've got the halving in April, which may now be May. We've got the Bitcoin ETFs, which could be approved this year. What isn't mentioned here is there's an election in the next 12 months. This time next year, there will be an election in America. We are possibly going to have a recession in some of the major countries in the world. But then when we come out of that, we're clear. Inflation is coming down. Interest rates are going to come down. All the ducks are in a row. You're going to see a $12 billion of natural selling per year converted into $6 billion of natural selling a year. At the same time as things like spot Bitcoin ETFs increase the demand for Bitcoin, Saylor said. That's why all of us are fairly bullish over the next 12 months. Demand's going to increase, supply's going to contract, and it's fairly unprecedented in the history of Wall Street. When banks on Wall Street and responsible custodians are managing Bitcoin, an industry takes its eyes away from all the shiny little tokens that have distracted and demolished shareholder value. I think the industry moves to the next level and we 10x from here. Again, he's always got to get a dig in at other cryptocurrencies. Shiny little token, very patronizing thing to say. Cardano is going to change the world. Ethereum is going to change the world. XRP is going to change the world. These projects are making real world benefits. They're benefiting the unbanked. They're benefiting Africa, Asia. Everybody in the world is going to benefit from the major crypto tokens, not just Bitcoin. And that's where I have a problem with Michael Saylor. He is blinkered. He cannot see anything outside of Bitcoin. And that's my problem with him. If he cannot appreciate that cryptocurrency is more than Bitcoin, then he has a problem. Bitcoin has been riding high. We know this. We hit 35.8. The coin was at 34.9. It's come down since then. So Bernstein predicted, given the real possibility of a spot Bitcoin ETF's approval, the cryptocurrency could hit $150,000 by 2025. Now that's actually quite conservative, saying that. My prediction was $105,000, as I have said multiple times on the stream. I think we're looking at a six-figure Bitcoin. And now what matters is how we struggle at $100,000. That is the question. That is the question. Now, we had this bull pennant which reached here. We've come back down, so we can delete the bull pennant. We are no longer looking at that. Give me a second. Now, on the daily, on the daily, do we now have a little bit of bearish divergence forming here? So we have the RSI coming down. The price is now starting to follow. If we go back a little bit to here, oops, 1 second. We have stronger, I suppose, stronger bearish divergence on the daily there, but we have retraced. So I think with the RSI coming down, I think we could see a little bit of cooling off. But I mean, let's zoom out for a minute. Let's zoom out and appreciate where we are. We are still massively above the bull market support band. We could come down, and I'm not saying we are going to, we could come down to 29,200. That's where the bull market support band is. Now, what's going to happen is this is going to start to do this. So as the longer we hold these prices, the more the moving average increases in price. So 34,220, we'd have bitten your hand off in Friday the 13th is when it all kicked off. Friday the 13th, we're at 26,700. We've gained $6,500 in 3 weeks, something like that. So we'd have bitten your hand off for a $34,000 where we are now. Now, do I think this is the end of the cycle? No, I don't. Do I think we could be stuck in some kind of channel like this? Possibly. Possibly we could be stuck here. We could cool off. What would be nice for us to do now that the bull pennant doesn't seem to be happening? If we do this just for a few days, maybe till a week on Monday, something like that, then we could push up. It would give time for the alts to catch up, I think. But we're still in a healthy place. If we come down maybe to the 4 hour, let's have a look at the 4 hour. So 4 hour, as you can see, we're starting to get oversold. That tends to indicate that the selling pressure is going to fall off, which could see a small recovery. So we could come back up towards 35,000, 34.8 level maybe today, depending on what news comes out. We've not really got bearish divergence on the 4 hour. We're very, very, very oversold. So what I would say in the short term, in the next 6 hours, I expect a small recovery. If you look, we've come down from, the RSI has come down from 77 to 32 on the 1 hour chart. The price has come down. We've come down to 34. I think we hit 34,150. We're at 34.2. I could expect us to go at the 34.6, 34.4, 34.8 and stay there, cool off on the RSI, and then wait for the next trigger, whatever that might be, in the next couple of days. Now, Fran asked about Solana. We're going to go and have a look at an article about Solana, and I'm going to give you an idea of where I think prices could go. And sometimes I think articles just wait for the slightest bit of negative news just to publish something like this. Solana is down 15% since hitting a 14-month high. Is the rally over? Well, let's just remember, we're up 61.8% in a month. So let's bear in mind, you know, a 15% retracement is profit taking. A lot of what you're seeing is profit taking. I personally sold a little bit of Solana and a few other tokens. I sold them yesterday. I sold them to USDC. Not because I didn't believe in the project and not because I don't think it can go higher. I just took some profits. It's not the end of the world to do that. So, you know, if you are 60 or 100% up in the last couple of months, take some money, take some profit. It's not the end of the world. Trade. Ronan, good morning, guys. Right, I'll reply to your comment once we've done the Solana. I'll come back to you about Cardano because my fourth biggest bag is Cardano, and I'm a huge fan. The issue for me with Cardano is that Charles does not care about the price. He cares about building the project. He has a 5 and 10 year vision for Cardano that involves healthcare, education, banking the unbanked, all of those things. He's got a vision, and it's not about the price today, tomorrow, or next month. But we'll get onto that in a bit. Let's go get through Solana first. So Solana almost doubled in price over the past weeks, but gave up some of its gains on Thursday. BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes says he's been a buyer during the rush. Institutional inflows to funds and rising activity support the trend, but some signs suggest the rally could halt. Let's have a look. So it's up 300% over the year, but don't forget why it's up 300% over the year, because it had a massive crash. It was tied to FTX. FTX was November 2022. Solana was tarred with the same brush as Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX. Unfairly, in my opinion. Yes, Anatoly and Sam were very close. Anatoly's the co-founder of Solana. They were very close. But that doesn't make Solana a product of FTX. They were probably in bed too many times than they should have been. but there is so much money backing up Solana. I'm making a video. I've made the video. I haven't edited it yet, about a project called Star Atlas. The token is called Atlas. It's going to 100x. Again, I'm not overly optimistic or pessimistic in most cases, but the metrics are there. So I'm going to drop that video probably today about Solana and Star Atlas. So we do have another channel on a video platform. If you want to go and find us, we're called Crypto Warehouse. But getting back to this, Solana has been unfairly pushed down. It should never have gone as low as $10. Hollywood, who's my the streamer on this channel with me, he had buy orders at $3, $5, and $6 on Solana because he just couldn't believe the price it was going down to. He bought Solana at $10, $12, $13. He's now got a massive bag of Solana, which has nearly 4x or 3x, sorry, in the time that he's held it. He's staked it, which is making him even more Solana. So if you can get in at these lows, then you're going to make life-changing gains. And that's what the point is about these bear markets we've been through. How many of you were buying Bitcoin at $15,000? I was buying as much as I could. How many people were buying Bitcoin at $3,000 when it crashed from $18,000? I was. It takes balls of steel to do that, because most people are screaming in your ear, it's going to zero, it's going to zero, and you have to have conviction in your beliefs. That doesn't mean going and putting your life savings into Pepe, which is a meme coin. What it means is, if you see a 15-cent Cardano or a 20-cent XRP or a $10 Solana, those are prices we are probably never going to see again. Short of a natural disaster, short of a massive problem, we are never going to see those prices again. So he's made 300% profit in 10 months. You don't get that on your savings account in your post office, do you? The momentum captured the attention of a widely followed crypto investor, Arthur Hayes. I just bought Sol. I think it just means I bought Sol. I know it's a Sam Coin piece of blah blah blah. At this point, it's just a meme, but it's going up, and I'm a degen. Absolute rubbish. Why Solana rallied? It's been institutional interest and large investment funds inflows that have helped. Now remember that Solana has also got ties in with Google, or is it Amazon? Google or Amazon, one of the two. And I personally use the Solana network for a lot of things. I've got some NFTs over there. I'm also a big fan of Star Atlas, like I've just said. Solana is just so much quicker than anything else. It's so nice. I mean, they all have their own personalities. Cardano, you just feel safe on. Ethereum, you just feel like you're paying through the nose for everything you do, even opening your MetaMask wallet. Solana is cheap, it's quick, it has a massive community of great people. But we're going to have a look at the price now, because we are... I'd like to say we're not doing well for time, but I don't think we're doing that badly considering the amount of talking that I've done in the last 33 minutes. Let's go and have a quick look, excuse me, at Solana. Now remember, most of the charts, I don't redo them an awful lot. So I do prep a chart if I haven't looked at it for a while. So a little bit of a recap. Last time I looked at Solana, which was, I don't think it was yesterday, maybe it was Tuesday or Wednesday, I looked at Solana. I pointed out this very interesting fact. We've reached the price that Solana was at when it crashed because of the FTX problem. And it has taken exactly 1 year to recover. So a lot of people have said, oh my, it's rallied 300%. We are We are way, way, way above where we should be and whatever it might be. Until you do this and you zoom out and you realize where we are. And we are back to the price we were at pre-bull run. Okay, May 2021. So that's kind of where we are now, in this area here. Okay, before the parabolic run up that we had, that yes, was artificially pumped by FTX. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Solana is a bad project. Now, also, we've had this long-term trend line going back as far as December last year. Very similar to XRP in terms that it's putting in higher lows all along. And as long as we stay above that, I haven't got a problem. So this pump up here has taken us to the 40s, which is where we kind of were after the previous bull run. We have had a small retracement, but look, I mean, we couldn't go up like that forever. We had to cool off. The RSI is off the chart. The price is up here. So I expect a small period of consolidation. I expect the price and the RSI to come down a little bit. So if we take a little look at this, I'm not seeing too much in the way of bearish divergence on the 4 hour. And really, I mean, we're coming back down now. We've cooled off on the 1 hour. Very similar to Bitcoin. We've cooled off on the 1 hour. So I'm not expecting too much further downside. Now, what I haven't got on here are the fib levels, but we don't need to look at them. If we look at the volume areas, we've got the big volume area down here, which is back at the price that we were at for a while, which was $23. We've then got $32. Now, I don't know if you remember the stream we did about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago now, where Brogan said we had two targets for Solana. We had $32 and then we had $34. And we said if we broke both of these levels, we'd have a run at $40. And we listen, we didn't call this pump. You know, I'm not saying we called $42, $44. We didn't call it. What I'm saying is that we broke the back of $32 and $34, and I think that caused a little bit of FOMO. Now we're back at $39. Do I think we're going to get back above $40 in the next 48 hours? Probably. I mean, if we are going to come down, we're going to come down to this range here, which is $32. That's the range that Brogan was pointing out, which was $32. So if we do retrace, $32 is a very strong area for us to find. But between that, we've got $35, $36. So what could happen is we could do this and curve back up again. So we could come down a little bit further and curve back up. Very difficult to say. We are cooling off, which means I'm not expecting too much more downside. Maybe we need another day of cooling off. But remember, there's a difference between fundamental declines in coins and profit taking. They might look the same because you're seeing a 15% retracement, but there's more to it than that. You have to look at the psychology of it. If you're down here at $21 in October and you're sitting here at $45, you've doubled your money. So what you're going to do, you're going to take out maybe 40-50%. That's what's happened. We've gone so far up that profits have been taken. We need to cool down now, find another level, which could be $35, $36. Then another bit of bullish news pushes us up, because our next target for this, what if we get back to where we were, which is $44, $45, our next target is $50. So that's where we're looking at. Now, if we were in the bear market, I'd be looking down towards trying to hold 32. If we break down, we could come all the way down, maybe bounce off 27 and then hit 24. But we're not in the bear market anymore. And that's what I'm saying before about PTSD. Do we still all have PTSD? That's what we need to look at. So for me, I think we hold 39, maybe hold 40 for a day or two, and then we push back up. So that is the news from Solana. Still very bullish. So is DOT a total? Oh, is that DOT or D2T? Pump and dump, or is anything new happening in Shillcoin? I really need the stock. I think a bit coming up. Right, let me answer your first question about Cardano. Cardano isn't a coin that is going to make you wealthy trading it on the hourly or the 4-hourly or the daily chart. It is a long-term project built by Charles to achieve a goal, and that goal is to start to document the healthcare and the education systems in Africa. That's just one element of what he's doing. He's building a blockchain. It's a decentralized blockchain. It doesn't have a central head. The staking of Cardano is one of the best things about Cardano. It's got great staking. You can stake from your wallet. You can stake from your ledger. It's a great project. But on top of that, I love Charles's idea about using Cardano to help secure other chains. That's exciting, because what that means is you can stake your Cardano natively, but earn Solana, for example, earn XRP, earn Bitcoin, whatever it might be. You'll be able to earn in different tokens, and that's exciting, because once that happens, then these other projects that are built to do this are no longer needed. My argument is you shouldn't have to leave your chain to help secure another chain. I've said this about Bitcoin. We were talking about Cosmos yesterday and NBTC. You shouldn't have to do that. You should be able to stake natively. And then the magic behind the scenes, the contracts, that help secure. So from that point of view, I think Cardano is in a really strong place. As for D2T, I'm going to have to go and have a look at that after the stream and let you know what I think about it. Now, we've got 3 minutes to go. And that means I'm only going to cover one article. The other two to do with Sam Bankman-Fried and Do Kwon. We can leave them for another day. Maybe we'll cover them tomorrow on the stream. We're going to go and look at this news that's doing the round. And this is fairly... I don't know what to say about this. I don't know whether to call it bullish. Had this news come out 3 or 4 weeks ago, I'd have been massively, massively bullish. But it's come out now, and I don't know whether he's just saying this or whether he's saying it based on any actual fact, because nobody really knows. So let's go through the article and see what he has to say. So Valkyrie CIO expects the spot Bitcoin ETF approval by the end of the month. Stephen McClurg, Chief Investment Officer, has put forth a strong indication that a landmark approval from the SEC for a spot Bitcoin ETF could transpire by month's end. The approval of the spot ETF is currently one of the biggest factors influencing the Bitcoin price, as well as the entire crypto market's trajectory. Now, we know how many people are looking at this, so let's see what it goes on. So McClurg is citing the latest amendments to the Valkyrie Spot Bitcoin ETF application and anticipates that the SEC will issue another series of comments within the next weeks, potentially setting the stage for the approval of the changes by the end of the month. Before anything else happens, we get a second round of comments, and I believe we'll probably get those comments in the next 1 to 3 weeks. A late November approval likely means a February launch. He argues the SEC could wait until January to ask the applicants to put final touches on their filings. Nate Gerasi, host of the ETF Prime podcast, explained, Valkyrie CIO suggests the SEC could approve the spot Bitcoin ETFs by the end of November and then early next year. These don't have to be approved at the same time. So this covers kind of what we were saying, which is he can't approve one ETF today and then another ETF in 6 weeks' time, because that gives them an unfair competitive advantage. What you need to do is you need to approve them all at the same time. What this would do here is this would give the SEC 3 or 4 weeks to approve Valkyrie, ARK, BlackRock at different times on different days, but give them all the same starting date, which would be January the 6th, January the 9th, whatever it might be. That would make sense to me, because for them to come out and approve 12 on the same day, it would be like Santa Claus leaving all the presents of the children in the world on your doorstep. So, industry experts remain cautiously optimistic. Matt Hogan, CIO of Bitwise Asset Management, highlights lingering concerns. Market manipulation is still a potential stumbling block. Custody isn't a wrap. There's still lots of work to do. Custody is via Coinbase, as far as I'm aware, while also expressing hope for the eventual launch of a spot ETF. So we don't need to read any more about that because we are going to run short of time. All I will say is that the actual Bitcoin spot ETF is only one in a number of things that are going to move markets. And that's something to bear in mind. It's very important to not hang all your hopes on the Bitcoin ETF. It's not going to happen overnight and suddenly we go to $250,000. It doesn't just happen like that. So what I would suggest is that, just give me 1 second. I'm just going to put you on pause for a minute. I am back. I do apologise. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get on with the quiz. So Roman, if you're new here, you can participate. I am going to try and drop you a gift coin. So let me just figure out how to do that for 1 second, and I will put some into chat. Give me a second. So you should see some gift coins dropping now. I wish it wouldn't do this. Right, there we go. There we go. Right, you should now see some. Some gift boxes. There we go. So that's the gift. We stream in multiple places. That's the gift box for one area. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to crack on with the quiz. So give me a second to boot this up. So for those of you that have never done the quiz before, we ask some very simple crypto questions. All you have to do is answer those questions and you will win. You will win some crypto. We're going to start with some easy ones. Right, let me think. Okay, first question is going to be, and remember you need to answer the answer, you need to enter the answer as I have written it in the question. Okay, Solana. We've just been talking about it. We were talking about the price. Is Solana a layer 1 or a layer 2? All you've got to do is type L1 or L2 into chat and you will win the SHIB. We've got multiple prizes. In fact, one thing I have forgotten to do is actually turn off the stream on one of our platforms. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody watching on YouTube. Thank you for watching. Come back tomorrow, 11 o'clock. I'll be here with Brogan. Until then, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you all soon over there.